Hey, open guards. So this video is to go over the skills we're going to ask you to be able to do. Vacuum cleaner just started, so I'm going to have to talk a little bit louder. So, open guards, your skill set is pretty narrow. You have to be able to block and never, ever, ever hold. This is why we teach blocking with the ice picks. We have had one holding penalty in the last 2 years, and that was on our quarterback. We cannot sustain self-inflicted injuries. Never ever hold. These are the 4 blocks that I need you to be able to never ever hold on. First, if you're the open guard and we're running the rocket play to your side, the rocket play is where the wing comes in motion and we pitch it to him super wide. You need to be able to run the stovepipe. Remember that? The stovepipe is where you're going to go flat and fast around this defensive end. Now, if that defensive end steps up and gets into contact with you, stay with him. Just run interference. But if you can get around him, we need you turning up into the stovepipe and taking any linebacker who's trying to scrape over. Now, don't forget, we may send you in the opposite direction sometime. So you need to be familiar with those old calls of uno, dos, and gorilla, where we pull the guards the opposite way when we run rocket one way. So stovepipe is something I need you to be able to do. Second thing I need you to be able to do, you got to run the circle. If we are running 6GO to the tight end side, and we're getting this stuff, down block, kick out, FBI, and we want to run him in there, you've got to run the circle probably right up in there. Probably. It's going to be the first gap that you see. To be able to get in that first gap, you have to see it. To be able to see it, you need to keep your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. To be able to keep your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, you've got to do that little grapevine step. That's going to make sure you don't turn your shoulders so that you can head up the first gap you get. Looking to catch a linebacker. Happen on this drill. This tackle is going to practice our skip turn, and this tackle is going to practice our step down and turn back. Don't worry about this guy too much. But what I want you to watch with this tackle is I want you to watch his footwork. I'd like you to watch that he karaokes so that his left foot steps behind his right foot, and that allows him to keep his shoulders square as he turns up into the imaginary hole and he looks in doing what we call run the circle. Now watch, this should be clear.
Ready, hut!
Okay, I'm going to stop it here. Watch his feet. Left foot behind. That's his karaoke movement. That causes him to skip, which moves him into an area to insert into the hole. Look at his shoulders. His shoulders are nice north and south, and that's going to put him in a perfect position to turn inside to take on that linebacker. Let's watch it full speed.
Go! Ready, hut!
Okay, we're also going to need you to be able to pass block. Now, the good news is that when we have you on the open side, whether we're running red or blue pass blocking, your assignment's always the same. You've got the gap to your left. The center will take the gap to the left. You've got the next gap. Tackle has got the next gap. The tailback will come over and help the tackle, but you have got help both to your right and your left. So all you have to do is step to that gap. If there's nobody in that gap, then you've got to look for business and see who you can help. Finally, the last block we need you to be able to do is every offensive lineman's favorite. We need you to be able to wedge. We're going to run Toronto wedge this year. And that means, pen's dying a little bit. Bear with me, please. That means I'm going to a different pen. We're going to have our strong guard, strong tackle, open tackle, and tight end on one side. You will be over here in your usual spot, and I'm going to bring, I don't know which pencil neck geek receiver I'll do it with, but one of those pencil necks up here. And so when we wedge, you got to get in on that center, and you got to push that center so that there's no gap at all in that wedge. Okay, strong guards. So those are your 4 blocks. You need to be able to stovepipe. You need to be able to run the circle. You need to be able to down block. I forgot down block. Shall we do that now? Sorry, guys. This is you. If we're running our crisscross play and your rules are down, double, nose, and they line up someone right here, and it's quite often that teams will do that, you have to step with your inside foot first, 6 inches, get your head across, and drive him down to the center. You cannot let him penetrate. If he penetrates, this whole play gets blown up. That's your down block. And just as long as we're talking, if he's lined up head on you, you call Mayo. I don't know why we call it Mayo. And we get a double team. If there's nobody in your gap and nobody on you, then that means there has to be a guy there. And you just double team him with the center. All right, sorry about forgetting the down block, strong guards, but hopefully you'll still be able to follow along with all 5? 5? Yeah, 5 of those blocks.